All right. So one of the hardest things about having a whatever this is, it's a blog, it's a whatever, is sometimes you just don't have anything to talk about. And then there are certain other times when you got so many things to talk about, you don't know when to do it. Or you don't know really, like, am I going to do this subject this week because by next week or whenever that I get to that, then it'll already be a dead meme. I won't need to talk about that. Or, like, it's kind of challenging, I guess, to prioritize, especially, I mean, if you got a daily, that's one thing. You can throw crap out there all the time, but for me, with like my weekly plus bonuses and whatever, it's difficult to feel like, you know what, this is what I'm going to talk about next week, even though, you know what, that's a little more timely, but I don't really know what I want to say about it. And so there's quite a few things I could talk about. What I've chosen to talk about, though, is something that's very close to my heart, and that's Carmen Sandiego. Carmen Sandiego, if you don't know what that is, there was this old computer-based point-and-click educational franchise. We'll call it that, I guess, where you would have to learn, like you took the role of being a rookie investigator for this fictional like policing agency called Acme, and they were pursuing this super secret evil organization called Villains International League of Evil. And their shtick, the thing that they would do, is that they would steal cartoonishly impossible things to steal, like waterfall or the world's tallest building, you know, stuff like that. Things that you literally, it's not possible to steal them. And in the process, you'd have to learn stuff, like because you'd have to pick up clues, and so the clues would lead you to ruling out subjects, all the different possible suspects or known suspects. They have ridiculous names like Sandy Dunes or Nick Brunch or whatever. Like, they all have retarded names, and in the process, you'd have to learn, like, they would say that the person's eyes had the color of robin's eggs, or like arbitrary or kind of glancing allusions to things like that, rather than just telling you directly. And so you'd have to learn little things, and so you pick up little trivia stuff, and you learn facts about locations, and you just so forth. And so it was fun. Like, there was math-based ones, there was geography-based ones, there was history-based ones. Like, honestly, they were fun, they were educational, they were a good experience for a little kid to be entertained, learn a little bit in the process. So it's cool. They also had a series, a television series, I believe it was on PBS, where it was the same premise, but kids would go on, kind of like the Nickelodeon, whatever that thing was, Hidden Temple, and you would have to answer a trivia question, and if you did, this gate would open, and if you got it wrong, then the gate would stay closed, and you had to crank it open yourself, and there was a time limit. You had to chase mythical Carmen Sandiego around all these different stations that way until you get to the end. If you get to the end, you caught her. So that's that was what Carmen Sandiego was growing up. That's the nostalgia Carmen. So she got the Netflix treatment, and unfortunately, they gave her the SJW treatment as well. So that the entire premise of the show is that instead of her being a vile thief, VILE, like the abbreviated, the acrostic stupid thing, but vile thief and the ringleader and all of that she's supposed to be this crimson what do you want to say, like spy / super thief. She's this intermediary kind of thing where she was trained by Vile, gone rogue from Vile, and now steals from Vile in order for the greater good, essentially. But the primary plot thread is that she's being pursued by the authorities who think that she's Vile, and she's being she's a nuisance to Vile, who thinks that she's working with law enforcement. But it just doesn't make any sense, because like the best way that, because one of the things as well is that Acme doesn't know that Vile exists, and so they're trying to build a dossier on Vile at the same time, trying to prove internationally that this is a real thing. Like, the main way that that Carmen Sandiego could really hurt Vile is become an Acme agent, take them back to Vile Island because she knows where it is, and arrest the people that are there. Like, that's like end of series. There's only one episode. You could do maybe like an hour and a half long special on it if you want. Like, that's the whole thing. So, but why did they not do that? Simple, because being good is lame. Every single law enforcement official in it, they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're foolish. They're cartoon, and it's a cartoon, so whatever. They're going to do stupid things. They're going to crash cars. They're going to get in trouble for damaging company property. Yeah, it's a cartoon. But the premise of it is that good guys are lame, so she's too cool to be cool. She's too cool to be good. But also, women are not allowed to be evil. Maybe. So, I mean, you can't have the main character, or the nominal character of your series be the bad guy. Absolutely not. No way. Especially if it's a woman. And all the dudes in the show are idiots, which is pretty common for a lot of cartoons. Adult men are just cartoonishly stupid in cartoons, or they're just ignorant, or they're just completely oblivious to what's going on. All of those things are the Interpol investigator. Women are unnaturally or unreasonably clever, smart, and and capable, whereas males are always inferior. So, I mean, just SJW treatment, feminism's clearly there. Also, a little bit of an anti-American, anti-conservative sentiment, in that when they're talking about the Magna Carta, the blood-red Texan who knows what the Constitution is doesn't know what the Magna Carta is, which is stupid, because everyone learns what the Magna Carta is in grade school. So, I don't know. Like, this has already gone on longer than it needs to be, but I'm really frustrated with it. But the main reasons why I'm frustrated with the whole thing is, in no particular order necessarily. Number one is that Carmen Sandiego isn't the villain. She needs to be the villain, because the key to a good series or content or everything is you have the tension between a good hero and a good villain. And so it might have been an opportunity for them to use some of that interactive technology and just make a Carmen Sandiego point and click or decision-based thing, so that you can literally try to catch Carmen Sandiego. That would have been awesome. I wouldn't have been able to see it because I watch on my iPad and that's not compatible, but that would have been amazing. The second reason is that the names of the characters were they were dumb, but not in the Carmen Sandiego way of being dumb. They should have been like Sandy Dunes, for instance. Like, that they were all ridiculous and hilarious. Carmen Sandiego, like they were all great. Now, like, in the originals, this one is just Chase Deveneaux. They just threw something at the wall and just, sure, that's a working title, but we'll go with it into the final product. And the third thing is that the steak, the number one thing about Carmen Sandiego that was so awesome is the fact that they're stealing things that literally cannot be stolen. I think where in the USA and Carmen Sandiego, all the things that were stolen were like the Grand Canyon, Golden Gate Bridge, the Space Needle, Mount Rushmore, the Painted Desert in New Mexico, the probably the Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, stuff like that. That it's just, this is cartoonishly impossible to steal. No one could possibly ever steal this thing. And if you were to steal it, how would you do it? Like the Grand Canyon, what are you going to fill it with dirt? Is that what you're going to do to steal the Grand Canyon? Like, what would you do? Angel Falls in South America, or the Roman Colosseum, like those kind of things. And all the heists were really dumb. One of them, they're trying to poison a bunch of food so that they can undercut the rice market with their own cheap alternatives, which is kind of a commentary on capitalism, maybe. But it's just garbage. Like, what, you're going to kill a lot of people just because you won't, like... And then, additionally, the copies of the Magna Carta, a stamp, like just really dumb cat burglary kind of stuff that literally, like, I don't care about that. I want somebody, like, probably the closest that anyone's come to a modern Carmen Sandiego heist that really just, it was done well, it was fun for the whole family all the way through, was stealing the moon from Despicable Me. That, like, nobody's gonna steal the moon. That's stupid. They shrink it down. Who knows what's happening to the environment that whole time? Like, tide's going crazy. Like, who knows? But that's a Carmen Sandiego heist. So I hope that whoever the creative team behind the Carmen Sandiego will go back, watch Despicable Me, get some ideas rolling, and then come back with that. Man, I'm just still stuffed up, guys. I'm sorry. But that's what I want. Maybe try a Bandersnatch kind of thing. That could be cool. But simply, that the thing they made is just, it's like if you were to make a thing of ramen, you put the sauce packet in there, you take all the noodles out, all the noodles out, and put them aside, and then just drink the broth. That's what Carmen Sandiego was. So, that's my review. Went way longer than it needed to, or even should have. But if you're a fan of Carmen Sandiego, great. Honestly, like, I'd love to, I don't know, chat about it or something down in the comments. Or maybe if you disagree with my assessment of it, cool. We can talk about that. Either way, we're at 13 minutes. Just go home.